Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm your host, Dr. Haider Shah, and on behalf of Corvus, I would like to welcome all of you to this webinar. Thank you very much for joining us. Today, we have very interesting topic, and I'm really honored to welcome and introduce our distinguished guest speaker, who is going to talk about the essential elements of entrepreneurship and the real mindset for that. Nowadays, we hear a lot the word entrepreneur. So, who are the real entrepreneur and how can we equip ourselves for that purpose? So, you will get the best insights about all these things as we have an expert with us in today's session. So, stay tuned because an amazing stuff are coming ahead in this session. So, before we start, I would like to thank the Kalwas for arranging such enlightenment sessions and for their support and providing us such a wonderful platform. The aim of the Kalwas is to give you the opportunity to interact with world renowned speakers, teachers, authors, researchers, experts, professionals, and businessmen to share their views, experiences, and tips which will create an impact and will enable you to learn new things and develop yourself in order to grow individually as well as to contribute to the world at large. As our slogan is come, learn, and share knowledge. So today we have an amazing person who has a vast experience in internationally known and recognized speaker. He is a great human being who is always ready to support and contribute to the world. So let me introduce him formally. He is Associate Professor of the Entrepreneurship at the Greenwich University, Karachi, Pakistan. He has a PhD in Entrepreneurship, Innovation, and Economic Development from Alpen and Adria University, Klagenfurt, Austria. His study in the Austria was sponsored by the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan through overseas scholarship. He has published articles in reputable journals like Business Strategy and Environment, Entrepreneurship, and Gender, etc. He has presented papers in BAM 2020 and EU REM 2021, and likewise many international conferences. Along with that, his research interests are entrepreneurship, youth development, CSR practices, and qualitative methods. Last but not the least, he's a wonderful speaker, author, teacher, researcher, professional, a brother to me, my friend, my mentor, and amazing person to talk. So please help me in welcoming our guest, Dr. Mohammed Nawaz Tunio. Welcome back to the Carvas platform, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Haider Shah. This is a great opportunity for the new researchers, new scholars like me to speak on the platform of the Calvas. This is an amazing platform where world speakers are coming and contributing and sharing their experiences. And in this case, I'm feeling highly lucky to be here for the second time, and it was very interesting to find the great speakers like Professor Ramaya, Dr. Faizan, and so many big names participating, and they are speakers of this event and guiding the new scholars like us, and we are learning and growing under their directions and their guidance. So thank you so much once again to the Calvas. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, personal capacity, for always honoring me and inviting me to speak and allow me to communicate with the students, youngsters on the different topics. Thank you so much.
Yeah. It's always pleasure to have you, Dr. Muhammad Nawaz, since you are very positive person, very appreciative, and all the way you support us. And thank you very much for your kind words. Yes, indeed, our aim is to bring the scholars, teachers, the different renowned speakers, so that we can contribute the world in a positive way. And we are here to guide the people. And thank you very much for you people as well who give the your precious time to us and you guide the people in the right way. So thank you very much once again. And as a reminder to the audience that Dr. Mohammed Nawaz Tony will be presenting and will be interacting with you people at the end of the session. You can ask question through comment section or you can email us the question at the info@calvas.com. So over to you, Dr. Mohammed Nawaz Tony. Please, you can share your slides.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rasa. Let me share my slides.
Sure, sure.
Can you see my screen, Dr. Saab? Dr. Saab, can you see my screen?
Dr. Saab, it's not visible till now. Dr. Saab, it's not visible to us.
Uh,
You can try again to share it, please.
yes. Hello. Dr. Saab, can you see my screen?
Uh, no, Dr. Saab, it's not visible to us. Uh, what happens is sometimes that it doesn't capture the slides if it is not open before. So open the slides first and then you try to share it.
Okay. Dr. Saab, I think there is a issue that I am unable to share the screen.
Uh, you can rejoin and then it might open.
Uh, okay. Okay, I'm
Yes,
just
Doctor,
trying to
you just
rejoin.
open the slides and then you rejoin us. Then it may work. It may appear. Let's see. Okay, thank you.
Dr. Saab, can I continue without slides? It's loud sharing. Uh,
If you can send me, I will open it and then you can discuss it.
okay, okay, I just emailed to you. I'm just going to email you.
Okay, fine, problem. Sure, sure. Yes, please.
I'm sorry, Dr. Saab. There is some issue that Mac is not allowing or recognizing there's something setting issue.
Yes, yes, and that's the limitation of the technology, Dr. Nawaz. Sometimes it happens. We are taking advantage of the
Yeah.
technology, but at the same time, the technology has its limitations as well. So we have to respect that thing. Once the professor Depraja was telling me that there was internet issue, we could not continue. So he said, and he was very positive. He said that these are the limitations of technology, so don't bother that much. Yeah, and sometimes it happens, so it's fine, completely fine.
Yeah. Basically, this is a drawback, or this is a coincidence that always this such kind of issue happens whenever there is some kind of the such event, and we face unexpected things like this. My system is being slow. I am just trying to send you the slides.
No worries, no worries.
So I'm
It's
sorry
fine.
for
Yeah,
that.
you could WhatsApp. Yes, Doctor Sahab, if you could WhatsApp me, it will be fine as well.
I should send you through WhatsApp. Just a minute. Just I'm in the
Okay, fine,
way to send you.
doctor. Sure, sure. Please take your time.
Raksab, I have sent you on your university email ID. If you can, if you can open from your end.
Let me ask them to do it. Let me just give me a minute, please.
Yes. Raksab, did you receive?
Yes, I have received it. My team is working on that. It will be appear soon. Just give us
Okay, madam.
1 minute, please.
Perfect. Perfect. All right. Yes, please.
Yes, Dr. Nawaz, is it visible to you as well? We are seeing
Yes,
it.
it's visible.
Yes, carry on, please. Thank you.
Yes.
So
Once
just let
again,
me know when to change that. Just say that next.
yes.
Yes, please. Carry
Thank you
on.
so much,
Thank you.
Dr. Haider Shah, once again for this opportunity, and welcome to the all listeners and dear students to provide the opportunity to interact with you all. I'm Dr. Mohan Nawaz, Associate Professor at the Green University, Karachi, and I'm going to talk about the entrepreneurial mindset. Why I want to talk on this topic? Because entrepreneurship is a burning issue nowadays because of the socio and economic crisis. Worldwide, it's a global issue as well as when we see the in a regional perspective, the population of Pakistan is increasing day by day. And every year, a large number of the graduates are graduating from the universities, completing their qualifications, and entering into the market and trying to see the some kind of the work, some kind of the formal employment. But all people cannot get opportunities because opportunities are limited, and supply of the university graduates are greater than the opportunities available in the market. So what happens in this case? What can be done? How we can accommodate the large population of the graduates, and how we can make them productive? That there's only a novel approach. There's only one way, so that we can make them productive. We can engage them in a constructive kind of the work, and that's the entrepreneurial activities. There's the entrepreneurship. So while going through while following the entrepreneurship, not only they will be able to improve their social and economic conditions, but they will be able to create the new opportunities for the youngsters, for the different kind of the people who are looking for the some kind of the work, who are looking for the formal opportunities. So, but in this regard, this is very important to speak on this topic, and this is very interesting topic for not for the for me as a student, as a learner of the entrepreneurship, but this is an interesting topic for the all scholars from the different diverse disciplines, because entrepreneurship is not a such kind of field which has some kind of the boundaries, which has some kind of the specification, specialization, and applicable to the small segment of the society. But it is a multidimensional phenomena, and it is an interdisciplinary area which covers the different social, economic, and knowledge areas where it has different roles and different functions. So I will proceed with this topic in the next slide. Oh, economics. I think I have sent you wrong slides, if I'm not wrong, because today I want to talk about the entrepreneurial mindset, and here's economics. So, what is this thing?
Okay.
I think I'm not
Please send us.
mistaken. I'm on right way.
Yeah.
I'm on the right way.
Okay. Please
To share this slide. Sorry, that's actually, when we talk about the some idea, some concept, let's say about the entrepreneurship, then we should talk something about its background. When we introduce ourselves as an individual, then we introduce ourselves with our some kind of the background, that what's my qualification, what's my geographical location, what is my nationality, where do I come from. So then you come to know about me, that you can conclude that yes, I know this person completely because he belongs to this area and this area. So for that purpose, I want to speak about the background of the entrepreneurship, that from which family it's evolving and from where it's coming. So while talking about the economics, it's very relevant and very significant to speak here. It's not by mistake. I'm sorry, Dr. Haider Shah. It's just a thrill. What is economics? When we unfold this idea and we discuss, I'm not an economist. I'm not the field of this. I'm not the expert of the economics field. But I want to talk about the economic just to get the shade reflection of my topic that which comes from this field. Economics is basically the study of the how society manages its resources. It's all about the arrangement, management, and utilization of the scarce or limited resources. Another way, economics is study of how human beings coordinate their wants, their desires, given their decision mechanisms, social customs, and political realities of these societies. This is some kind of the basic idea of the economics. We are not going to discuss in a deeper way about this field because this is a very big phenomena. But in the next slide we will talk about the factors of the production of the economics. That's a very related, very relevant idea. Whenever we talk about the economics, we always talk about the factors of the production. That what are the factors of production? Factors of production are the resources available to it for the production of the goods and services. That from where goods and products are produced to supply in the market to provide to the different customers, consumers, individuals, stakeholders. So means that production factor means input for the some kind of the output. So what are those factors of the production? Those factor of production are most popular concepts. That one is the land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So, land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship, how these are the factor of production. I will just shortly and briefly give idea in the next slide about these things so that you can understand the background scenario of this concept, that factors of the production. How land is an input, how labor is input, how capital is input, and how entrepreneurship is input. So, in the next slide, yes, land determines, indicates the natural resources. Natural resources, which are, we can say that agriculture is a major source, major example of the natural resources which comes from the land. Then the labor is a human resources, which are different kind of the labor works for working in different capacities in the, we can say the industrial sector, in the service sector, in the production sector, in the different phases. So they are all the driving force who are making it possible to utilize the natural resources. So what is a capital? Capital is some kind of the input through which or something helps in producing something, some products to the finished products. Those includes the machinery, science and technology, different equipments, which help to translate or manipulate the raw products into the finished products. And then last one is the amazing concept, that is the entrepreneurship. So what is the entrepreneurship? It's a drive that to develop a idea, business idea, into the practical business idea into the business. So how is it possible to convert an idea into the business? How comes? Because whenever we talk about the business, we talk about some kind of the complete setup, having everything available, and having a complete, we can say, resources or something like this. But actually that business is a traditional form of the business where we don't take any kind of the risk. We are not going to innovate anything. But entrepreneurship is something which determines to start something from minimum resources. And there is a one concept of the Professor Saraswati, which proposed the theory of the effectuation, and that theory of effectuation determines that start the entrepreneurship from the minimum resources. That it says that what are the birds in your hands? The birds in your hand, you can start your business. You can translate your business idea into the business plan. You can translate your business idea into the business actions, business entrepreneurial activities with the help of or based on the minimum resources. So, what can be those minimum resources? What can be the birds in hand? Those birds in hand can be your physical resources, financial resources, social resources, intellectual resources, and all those things available to assist you. And you can utilize, you can get benefit, you can convert them and engage them into your business plan. So, Dr. Previous slide, please. So, yes. So, when we talk about the entrepreneurship, it's a kind of the mechanism, it's kind of the process. But who drives that process? Who runs that mechanism? That's the most essential element. Who's the driver behind this process, behind this flow? And that one is the entrepreneur. Who drives this entrepreneurial mechanism? Who goes through the different phases and becomes and converts his business idea into the business plan? He combines the all three factors: land, labor, and capital of the production to aid the supply, to translate his business ideas into the actions. So why, when we talk about this all mechanism about the entrepreneurship and the entrepreneur, then it comes in our mind that who is the entrepreneur, how we can determine, how we can recognize that who is the entrepreneur, because there are so many people with very competent with very much competency, with different dynamic and diverse skills. So how we can determine, how we can differentiate that X person is an entrepreneur, can be entrepreneur, or Y person is an entrepreneur and Z person is not an entrepreneur? What are the those fundamentals, or what are those concepts, or what are the parameters through which we can recognize, we can determine, we can claim, we can say that he is an entrepreneur, or he can differentiate himself from the rest of the population? Drugs up, next slide, please. Yes. So, in general way, when we talk about the entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs, people translate like this: that entrepreneur is one who has own business. Entrepreneur is one who has own business idea, business plans, who has own way to introduce the things. And the entrepreneur is the one who works for the financial motivation, for the financial benefits, to earn the money and to maximize the money. So, in the next slide, but on other way, entrepreneurs have some kind of the rumors as well. When we go through the developed countries like Europe, Germany, Italy, Austria, or other countries, then entrepreneurs are being translated informally in the different ways, different meanings. Like in this next slide, we have different perspectives about those individuals who are entrepreneurs. Like next slide also. Yeah. So it is said that they are born, they are not made. Entrepreneurs are entrepreneurs by birth. They are not entrepreneurs by made by, let's suppose how entrepreneurs are not made like a MBBS doctor. Okay, they go through the 5 years education, and then they go for the further 2 years or 5 years education specialization. Then they become a doctor. They are made. They are not born doctor. Okay, when we are a PhD, we go for the 4 to 5 years for the research. We complete a certain task, certain project, then we graduate and we become a doctor. We become PhDs. Simultaneously, entrepreneurs have no any certain kind of the qualification, certification. They don't go for any kind of the schooling where from where they graduate and they become a entrepreneur. But these are some kind of the qualities, characteristics, and their nature, their personality, which determines and enable them to be an entrepreneur. Generally they are called gamblers, because they go always some out of the way than the normal person. Every person does not go like this. Everybody cannot be a gambler because everybody don't want to lose money. Everybody don't want to take the risk, different kind of the risk. Either it should be the financial, moral, social, technological, or any kind of the risk. Everybody wants to survive in a safe side. Everybody wants to live in the comfort zone. So they are translated as a gambler because of their mindset, their approaches, their actions, their attitudes. They are then it is said that they are motivated by the money. They are whatever they are doing for the money only. They will go out of the way. They will go miles away to earn the money. They can do everything. They can utilize maximum energy and efforts to earn the money and to maximize their wealth. And they we are supposed to be a young only. That entrepreneur can be only young because entrepreneur has no any age bracket. Not only a young person can be entrepreneur, any person can be entrepreneur. A school boy, a school going teenage boy can be an entrepreneur. University graduate can be entrepreneur. The very old person, senior citizen can be an entrepreneur. Whenever he gets idea, he starts translating his business idea into the actions, entrepreneurial actions. He can be an entrepreneur. Not necessarily only a young person can be. But thing is that young person has a energy, young person has a time, young person has a certain life span, young person has certain experiences, observations, qualification, education, ideas, social contacts, and he can do everything in a possible way. That's why young person is focused here. When we talk about, let's suppose a teenager boy, he can be entrepreneur, fine, okay, but he will not have a diverse experience. He will not have a social contacts. He will may not have a sources to engage in the business idea. So that's the reason that young people are being focused. And whenever we talk about the entrepreneurship, we mostly talk about the young people because that's a fresh blood. Then they love the spotlight. It is always said, or these are the rumors for the entrepreneurs. They are they are seeking public attention. They always do something so that they can capture the attention of the people. They become in the eyes and attention of the greater number of the people. Well, fact, they are doing something different, and they deserve to be in attention. Like you can take the example of an entrepreneur who are very successful stories in Pakistan and globally, worldly, and they are very successful in their business plan. So they are unavoidable. They are unavoidable. Nobody can underestimate them. Nobody can ignore them. Nobody can ignore their reputation, their success, and their growth and their contributions. So they don't seek the attention, but they become they appear in our attention. They exist in our not only attention but in our priorities as well because of their contributions, because of their role. So these are somehow we can say that rumors about the entrepreneurs, or we can say the so-called labels for them. But in a real way, what are those qualities or characteristics, or what are those the positive points about the entrepreneurs which can we translate, or we on the basis we can differentiate them, or on basis on those factors they can differentiate and they can say that yes, this is an entrepreneur, I am entrepreneur. What are these things? These are the next slide where we can discuss. These are the strength, these are the parameters, these are the perspectives, these are the qualities which can differentiate them or which can make them entrepreneur. First one is the risk factor. They are risk taker. They always go for the risk. They don't think, they are not never worried for any kind of the drawback or limitations. They don't think for the dark side of the activities. They focus on the just brighter perspective, that what they want to do, and through going that perspective, through going that transition period, what they will gain, what will be the gain, what will be the positiveness behind the screen, behind the curtain after completing this task. So they are risk taker, they are willing always to take the risk. And then the knowledge power. Knowledge power is most important thing, as I told you that about the effectuation theory, that determines the three perspective in this case, that when you start to translate your business idea into the actions, you have to focus on the three things, three perspectives. That what are those three perspectives? First one is that how many people do you know? Second one is how many people know you? And third one is how much you know. How much you know about the market, how much you know about the competition, how much you know about the challenges and the opportunities, how much you know about the region where you are living, how much you know about the that market where you are starting doing business, where you are entering, and who are the competitors over there, what are their approaches, what are their strategies, how you will enter, how will you maintain, how will you grow over there. These things determine the knowledge, that how many people know you, that so that you can seek some kind of the help, some kind of the moral, social, financial support from them, because social networking plays very vital role, very central role in your survival, in the survival of your business, in the growth of your business. That's a very we can say, after the financial resources, your social resources are the most important source that can support you in this cause. Then the independence, they are never dependent, they never like to be dependent, they never like to be subordinated, because they need freedom, freedom of mind, freedom of thoughts, freedom of decisions, freedom by all their thoughts and actions, so that they can go out of the way. And then their self confidence. When they have a knowledge, they are risk taker, and they have freedom of every taking decisions. These things give them confidence. These things make them to go through out of the way. And self confidence is the main thing. You know everything, but you don't have a confidence, it means it's not possible that you can go out of the way. So maintaining self confidence while going through the different transition periods, through dealing the different challenges, through dealing the different risk factors, this is most crucial factor to maintain the self confidence. Then determination, that what you have to do, you are very, very well focused, that what is your direction, what is your objective, how to go through that process to achieve that objective, you are well determined, that's the most important thing. Then the relationships, you cannot conduct any business activity, you cannot be entrepreneur in a vacuum, you cannot go to the sky, you cannot go to the jungle, yeah, you cannot do business in a desert, but you can start doing business into some certain kind of the market, and you will produce products and services for the customers, for the people, for the individuals, to satisfy their needs, to satisfy their wants. So it means that you are doing something for the community, for the society, and in the community, in the society, not for for the sake of producing those products and those services, but for your personal growth, for your personal survival. You need some kind of the relationships, not only normal relationships, but the healthy relationships, very supportive relationships, who can give you moral support, who can meet your energy wavelength, who can make your morals high when you are disappointed, when you are feeling low. So the relationships in terms of the family relations, social relations in the form of the friends, and the business relations, business ties, which can help you to connect with the some kind of the producers, where you can buy some raw products. They can introduce you to the new people. They can introduce you to the new market. They can support you. They can guide you into the new market. These relations help to the entrepreneurs, so they maintain their relationships. And then when the last comes the profitability, that what you are doing, whatever you are doing, that all struggle is for the financial motivation, that how you earn the money and how you maximize your profits, how you reinvest that profits in your business to grow, and then how you utilize your savings and where you are utilizing your profits, and how you are improving your social and economic conditions through that profit maximization. That is a you can know that is a foundation, and that is a core idea behind this scenario. So while going to the next slide, so based on those all things, those characteristics, those qualities which makes individual to be an entrepreneur, it is essential to be entrepreneur to have a such kind of the mindset to be entrepreneur. If you don't have a mindset to be entrepreneur, then it's not possible. Nobody can guide you, nobody can teach you, nobody can transform you until and unless you don't have such qualities, you don't have such characteristics, you don't have such kind of the mindset to be entrepreneur. So when we talk about the mindset, actually what is a mindset? How we can unfold this idea? What is this one? Mindset is some kind of the thinking process that triggers individuals to the certain actions. Thinking process that how critically you are thinking, how creative you are thinker, how do you think, how see you see the things. Because every person has different lenses to see the world. But how do you see world different than the other people in the same society, in the same community, in the same family where other people are living? What is your perspective? That matters a lot. How do you see and how do you translate? Such as whenever we go in the social community with our friends, we have some old friends and we will meet with some new friends. Okay, so that matters a lot, that how you introduce your new friends in the community of your old friends. That depends upon your capacity, your behavior, your mindset. That some people, let's suppose they introduce as our class fellows only, they introduce as our best friends, they introduce as our, just they are living in our neighbors, we are just working, we are co-workers. So how you see the things, your perspective is the most important, and that perspective shows your mindset. This mindset is sometimes called as a talent or mentality. When we talk in terms of the entrepreneurship, in perspective of the entrepreneurship, this is called translated or interpreted as a talent or mentality. This kind of the this mentality, mindset, or talent can be changed and modified over the time, with the change of the time, with the change of the location, with the change of these conditions, situations. You can be more creative, you can be more adapting to the new changes, welcoming to the new changes. And based on those observations, behaviors, and mindset, you translate your intentions into the actions, and that appears from your behavior. Your mindset appears from the behavior of individuals, that how he is and how she entrepreneurial mindset she is holding, or he is holding. So behavior translates or determines or declares, or we can say that translates the mindset of individuals, that what kind of the person he has, what kind of the mindset this individual has. In the next slide, for the certain activities, for the certain focused activities, as we are talking about the entrepreneurship, we are talking about the single direction, we are talking about the certain specialized field. In that case, when we talk about the mindset, when we relate entrepreneurial activities with the mindsets, then we try to elaborate that what are those things which construct or contribute in designing certain kind of the mindsets. What are those things? These are some kind of the things which are mentioned here in the checklist, which shows that it's the ability to work without the supervision, that individual does not need any kind of the supervision or some kind of the direction, some kind of the he doesn't work or decides or thinks under the leadership of any individual or any other person, but he is self motivated. He is leader of himself. He is self determined. He has energy. He has confidence to take on spontaneous decisions with respect to the need, with respect to the conditions. He is able to manage with the stress whenever he finds some kind of the unexpected things. When he feels failure or when he faces failures, he faces different kind of the barriers. He faces some kind of the disappointments from the social network, from the business community, from the governmental policies and programs. Then he can manage with his stress, and he can say to himself that everything is okay and everything will be good with the flow of the time. Then he should be very flexible with respect to the mind, with respect to the conditions and environment and new changes. And should be very open-minded to welcome the new changes. He should not be resistant. He should not be rude and rigid to not change himself, to remain the constant in all conditions. And he should be very focused that what he has planned and how he has to go through for his implementation of his plan. He must be very patient. He must be very consistent in his actions, in his plans, in his activities, that he should not deviate from his direction. He should not be the tempo loser, or we can say the short-tempered person that who does not bear some kind of the unexpected behavior, unexpected situations, unexpected challenges. But he should be patiently dealing and treating all things in positive way, in a very optimistic way. So in the next slides, when we talk about further about the mindset, there are three important things which are the combination of this entrepreneurial mindset, and that is the knowledge and skills, that's a motivation and attitude, as I have discussed in the previous slide. So here I will not invest more time to elaborate, because in the previous slides these same things I have discussed already. While moving to the next slide, yes. So across all these discussions and ideas and opinions, when we talk about the mindset, we have defined, we have unfold that concept. Then it comes in our mind that why we are talking about the entrepreneurial mindset, why it is important, why it's so crucial that we are investing a lot of time to speak on this topic, on this idea. Because when you are talking about the entrepreneurship, it is necessary, it is essential that you should elaborate the characteristics of the entrepreneur. When you are talking about the entrepreneur, then the personality and psychological perspective of individual is most important to elaborate and to discuss. And here it shows the importance of the entrepreneurial mindset. When we go in the detail, there are so many perspectives, but I have summarized all these things in the three perspectives. That is, one is that to cope with the rapid changing economy, that economic fluctuations take place with a certain time period at the regional level, at the national level, at the global level. You can relate it with some kind of the unexpected economic fluctuations occurred by the COVID-19 pandemic. Has shaped the economic system and has reshuffled the economic system of the world. It has changed the order of the countries. So what happens in this case, when COVID-19 caused the economic fluctuation globally, many organizations just were shut down, or many organizations just eliminated and the staff, and many people become the jobless. Many people lost their jobs. But in that case, in that situation, entrepreneur, that was only entrepreneur who survived in that situation. They survived because they were not dependent. They just minimize the scope of their business at the minimum level so that they could maintain their survival, and they forgot about the profit maximization in such a critical situation. So while taking example of this pandemic COVID-19, one individual should be very flexible and very adapting to the new changes which comes in the economic patterns, in which comes in the economic situations. This is not only example of the COVID-19, but there are some other natural disasters, earthquakes, floods come in different regions like in Indonesia. A few years ago, we have experienced the flood in Pakistan, in Sindh upper area, and Punjab, and many areas were affected. Besides it, there are so many other political ups and downs which cause the economic fluctuations. So individuals should be, entrepreneurs should be very flexible, tolerant, and very accepting to those changes and be progressing. Then second one is to build the entrepreneurial society. How he can build the entrepreneurial society? He can be the source of inspiration for the new entrepreneurs. He can guide the new entrepreneurs who are looking for some kind of new opportunities. He can be source of the social support for those entrepreneurs, for those youngsters. He can by those things, by doing those things, and by different ways, he can contribute in developing the entrepreneurial ecosystem in that region. He can be the good example of the successful entrepreneur by supporting the other entrepreneurs, by youngsters. And he encourage always the innovation and economic growth, because entrepreneur, first, the entrepreneur's quality is to be a risk taker, and second quality is to be an innovator, because without going through the innovation, without introducing the new things in a different way, he cannot survive, he cannot move on, he cannot grow. So, innovation is the fundamental concept in the economic growth. So, these are the three perspectives which I summarize the different ideas into the three perspectives. While moving to the next slide further, so after talking about those things, about the mindset, characteristics of an entrepreneur, that what is the nature and development of the entrepreneurship? Being we talk about we talk in the perspective of the entrepreneur only, because when if we talk about the entrepreneurship and nature of the entrepreneurship, because within itself, entrepreneurship is a very versatile field, very big field. Entrepreneurship is divided into the different kinds, different types. So we will discuss these kinds, the types, and detailed philosophies in the next time. We are talking about the individual perspective today, and we are talking about the entrepreneur today. So we will remain in the topic of the day only. So being an entrepreneur who determines who is the pillar in the entrepreneurship system, who is the actor in those environment. He involves in the creation of the new process. He exploits new opportunities. How he exploits new opportunities? He exploits new opportunities by identifying socio-economic problems. He see some kind of those social and economic problems as opportunity, because he tried to give the solution of those problems, and the solution of those problems contains some kind of the plan behind, and that plan is the business plan. That business plan determines the needs and wants of the people, and through that business plan, he satisfies their wants and their needs. He solves their problems, social and economic problems. So that's why in that process, in that way, he is involved in the some kind of the creative process. He is very committed in that process. He employs efforts. He takes efforts. He invests a lot of time and energy behind that satisfaction of the while satisfying the customers, satisfying their needs and wants by a creative way, by innovative way. And then it involves understanding what rewards do they seek for being an entrepreneur. There are different kind of the rewards at the end when they are progressing. They are first one when they are taking initiatives, when they are progressing, and when they are growing. So in these different phases, there are not only financial motivations, there are not only financial awards, but there are some kind of the social recognitions by emotional recognitions, emotional satisfactions, which enable them to grow and which enable them to remain in the balance. So while when we talk about the risk, so it takes well thought about the risk. When in the previous slide I told you that they are labeled, they are translated as a gambler because they jump from one place to another place. They jump very rapidly, unexpectedly. They go out of the plan. They go out of the way. But thing is not practically and really entrepreneurs are not like that. They are very calculated in their risk taking. They estimate that what are the resources available to them and what they see the nature of the risk, and they set certain plan, certain they develop certain strategy that how to cope up that challenge, how to deal with that risk. And that why they are very organized in that mechanism, in that process. That's why they are entrepreneur. They are not avoiding to deal that risk, but they are facing that risk. But to deal that risk, they need some kind of the organized mechanism, some kind of the process. So they decide that process, they decide that organization mechanism, that how to do and how to deal with that one, and how to utilize the resources. What are the resources available? What are the new approaches that they can undertake to deal with these changes, these uncertainties, these risks? So these are ideas, these are the things about the nature perspective of the entrepreneur. While moving to the next slide, so when as I said that in the previous slide, that they try to satisfy the needs and wants of the people because through the novel approach, through the innovation. So across that one, how they come up with certain kind of the business ideas where they can find the opportunities, because this is always a question most of the students ask me. So can you suggest me that how can I get the business idea? How can I start doing business? Something. What should I do? Can you guide me? What should I do? I always tell them, I always ask them, if you don't know what you want to do, then you should try to find the answer by yourself. Because whenever you are, when you will find out the answer of that question, it means you will find some kind of the business idea. You will become an entrepreneur. If I'm going to give you idea, if I'm going to tell you something that how, in which area and where you should start doing business and what should be the business plan, maybe that does not fit your personality, that does not fit your characteristics, that does not fit your background. You must not be familiar to that idea. So what happens based on your resources, your mental approach, your mindset, and your information, you go through the exploration of the different ideas. So these are I have categorized some significant sources where individual, when entrepreneur, where students can find the business ideas, business plans, business opportunities. So first one is the sectorial side, that there are different fields, there are different sectors like agriculture, like a garments, like a engineering, like a forestry, like a food sector. So there are different kind of the sectors where you can find the business idea, that where do you fit well, where is your interest. Then if sectorial perspective is not working out, then you go through the geographical context, that you go through the survey, market survey of that place where you are living. Geographical location could be at the local level, at the national level, at the international level. You can check at the Karachi level that what are the opportunities within the Karachi, what are the opportunities in Pakistan, what are the opportunities in South Asia, what can be opportunities globally in the situation of the COVID-19, when physical phenomena is going to be closed and physical business is replaced by the virtual business. So whole world is your market. You can find the business idea in geographical perspective. Then you can decide, in case of the product oriented, it should be product oriented. You are going to introduce new product in the same market, or already existing product in a some certain kind of the new market. Then it can be service oriented. You can find the business idea from any kind of the service sector, that you provide some kind of the services and you be novel by providing the services in a new market, or already existing service ideas, business ideas and service sector to the new market, or vice versa. And the last and the most important and most fundamental and most usable approach is the knowledge, new knowledge. That is a stable, significant, famous, and permanent source of the business ideas. That you go through the literature, you go through the different successful stories, you go through the different case studies, you read the different magazines, periodicals, newspapers, research articles, books, where you get different ideas, you get different information about the things, about the products, about the services, about the markets, about the opportunities, about the threats. Then it helps you and makes your mind to decide what you want to do. While going through the investigation, while going through the study of those perspectives, those segments, you will be able to answer yourself when you are going to ask your mentor that what kind of the business should I start? What should I do? Then you can answer yourself while going through this study, while going analyzing these perspectives of the finding entrepreneurial opportunities. So in the next slide, this is the most interesting and most important thing, which is the second part, where I can say that I have summarized my second idea into the 3 lines only, which shows what are the elements, what are the perspectives, what are the specialties of the entrepreneurship. That first one is the innovation. Innovation to introduce something new in the same market, or to introduce something existing in the new market. Either to you introduce new market, new product, new service, or you enter into the new market. Then the most important thing is the economic growth. Economic growth is not possible without ignoring or adopting innovation in your production, in your service, in your services. That by doing the entrepreneurship directly, indirectly, you are going to contribute in regional economic growth. You are going to contribute in the economy of your country. You are creating a wealth. And the third one, and the most important one, is that job creation. Through your entrepreneurship, through your business plans, from your startups, you are creating new employment opportunities. New employment opportunities in different capacities. It could be, let's suppose, if you are starting business and you are employing some kind of the person, doorkeeper, security guard. You are just, you can say, office worker, clerk, or any other staff. You are creating different segments in your business. So what you are doing, that you are creating employment opportunity. By creating employment opportunity, you are employing the unemployed people. By providing employment to them, you are contributing the society by reducing unemployment. That's a third novel approach and novel contribution of the entrepreneurship. These are the three important perspectives. If we go in detailed debate on these perspectives, there are a lot of discussions. A lot of scholars have talked and written many things, many ideas, many perspectives on these things. I do remember, I definitely quote the example of the some important and leading contributors of the entrepreneurship, like Professor Dieter Bogenhold, Professor David Aldrich, or Professor Robert Hisches. These are the leading contributors in the field of entrepreneurs, who are very good names in the field of entrepreneurship. Whenever you are going to the literature for entrepreneurship, if you are talking about the academic entrepreneurship, you will definitely face the article. You will meet with the in the literature with the Robert Hisrich. He is a very big name and very leading contributor in the academic entrepreneurship. So, in these ideas, these big scholars have given lot of ideas, lot of perspectives. I am just going to translate and summarize these their sayings, their findings, their suggestions in my own way, in my simple way. So, while moving on to the next slide, here we are standing. Here you can recognize yourself. Here you can categorize yourself. The whole population, all people of the society, I have just put into the four categories, four things, four groups. And sorry to say, but these are not the negative perspectives, but these are the very practical and realities of our communities. First one are those people that make the things happen. And second group that group who see things happen. And third group is that one who wonder what is happening. They get surprises only. And fourth one is that one who do not know what is happening. They are just living in their own world. They are not concerned what is going on, what is happening, and what is not happening. So in this category, when you see these four categories, these four groups, you can ask yourself and you can check yourself where you are standing between among these four categories, among the four groups. And when you identify yourself where you are standing, then try to find out that which group is very constructive, which group is very contributing, which group is very growing, and try to differentiate yourself from the others who are not contributing, who are not constructive for the societies. So that's all about today talk. Thank you so much, Dr. Haider Shah, for this time, for this opportunity. And this was just limited time and limited ideas, simple idea. I'm just trying to learn and trying to get more and more ideas, informations, and learning from different teachers, different senior scholars who are who are well established scholars in the field of entrepreneurship. I'm trying to connect with them, to trying to learn them, so that I can also contribute and I can give back to the society as well somehow.
A very wonderful presentation once again, Dr. Muhammad Nawaz Tunio. As you never cease to surprise us, it's so wonderful to see you and the flow which you were in discussing the things. I love that thing. And you started with very much doubts the people have asked the question regarding the common myths. So you have started with the wonderful common myths about the entrepreneurship. And then I love the way you explain the knowledge concept itself, the three perspective of knowledge. Very wonderful, wonderful content it was. The strength of the, and I was very much amazed to see the strength. The first factor was the risk, which people tend to think in a other way around. That yes, the risk is something you have to be risk averse, but in entrepreneurship, this is your strength that you take the risk. But again, the calculated risk and how much you know the market, the analytics and all these things, that plays important role. So, and I loved your last slide, which was the four category. Very nicely you have put it, and now you have put a question mark for the people in their mind that think for your own that which category do you like and how you are going to improve it. Once again, wonderful presentation, wonderful content. Thank you very much for so elaborative presentation. I love the way you were explaining because you were trying to connect the different dots in a different way. And I love another thing which you mentioned, our gurus, leaders who are in the field, and you took their names, which is very much appreciable because we should recognize their work. They are our
Absolutely,
seniors.
absolutely.
Yeah, they are our seniors, and we learn from that, and they are the real contributor in that sense as well. Uh, Nevertheless, we have few questions for you, and if you allow me, should I start with the first question, please?
Sure, sure, sure. Go ahead, please, doctor.
Thank
Yes.
you very much. The first question, the one teachers want to ask the question that, sir, please guide us about the importance and role of universities in teaching entrepreneurship and innovation skills. How do you see the role of universities in teaching entrepreneurship? Yes, please.
Yes. The thing is that when we talk about the perspective of the Pakistan, we are far behind in case of the teaching of entrepreneurship because here entrepreneurship is treated as a supporting subject in the degree program of the business administration at the bachelor level, master level, or up to the PhD level. It is not treated as an independent field, independent subject. But few universities like IBA Karachi, I know, and the other, I think, IOBM has started the business BBA in entrepreneurship. Like there are other specializations, marketing, finance, and other supply chain management. Simultaneously, they have introduced BBA and entrepreneurship. But this is a new initiative, new start. It takes a time to get the attention of the market and priorities of the students. First thing. Second thing is that when we talk about the developed countries, they have very established curriculum. They have very course contents about the entrepreneurship, and they are treating as an independent field as well. They are guiding students. So entrepreneurship is very important, and I believe that this subject should be introduced not only in the field of business administration, because business idea is not necessary to be limited to the business studies only, business field only. When we talk about, let's suppose that when we talk about the doctor, MBBS doctor, when he graduates and when he becomes a practitioner, okay. So what happens? Once he's a doctor for lifetime. Every kind of the patient will come to him if he is a general physician. If he is a headache, he is a pain in the stomach, he has a pain in the legs, he will come to visit the doctor to find out the solution. Okay, and until he is alive, he is on the earth, he will remain a doctor, and he has a responsibility to provide the significant or relevant treatment to that patient. Simultaneously, in the same way, entrepreneurship is a very entrepreneurship is a multidimensional, we can say, in its nature to solve the socio-economic conditions in all fields. So it should be integrated in the course contents, degree programs of the all disciplines, social sciences, natural sciences, medical sciences, because business ideas can be provoked, can be triggered from any field. Let's talk about the medical, pharmaceutical field. That's a big area. There are so many business opportunities in the pharmacy, in the medical field. So you cannot ignore the business perspective from the medical field. When you cannot ignore the business perspective from the medical field, then how can you ignore the importance of the entrepreneurship subject from that discipline? So I believe that entrepreneurship should be treated not only in the business or social sciences, but it should be made compulsory in the all disciplines like engineering, information technology, computer science, medical sciences, natural and agriculture sciences, where it can be very beneficial for the social and economic growth and for the developing entrepreneurial mindset among the university students, university graduates.
Very nicely said and very wonderful reply to that question so nicely as it was expected. The same question is another question is related to that above question. That is the that sir, please enlighten us about the role of academic business incubators. How do you see it and what do you propose for them? Yes, please.
uh, okay, business incubator is some kind of the provides some kind of the controlled environment to some new entrepreneurs who want to test their business ideas. So university entrepreneurs, there are different kind of the entrepreneurs, like a industrial supported business, sorry, not entrepreneurs but business incubations. There are different type or kinds of the incubators. Some business incubators are supported by the industrial sector. Some are supported by the non-governmental organizations. Some are supported by the individuals, and some are supported by the universities that are called the academic entrepreneur in business incubators. So that's they what happened. They provide some kind of the platform. University provides some kind of the controlled environment to test, to experiment their business ideas, and provide some kind of the support mechanism to translate their ideas into the actions, into entrepreneurial activities, into the business activities. When they see that their business plan, their business idea, that hypothesis proved, and they are succeeded in implementing their business plan, then with the support of that university, they are shifted from the business incubation center to the market to work independently and grow independently. So role of university is very important in that promoting the business incubation system, and that is most crucial in this situation in case of the Pakistan, when we could talk about the unemployment, when we talk about the economic ups and downs, and we talk about the other socio-economic issues. In this situation, business incubation is the most important source to accommodate the large population of the university graduates, to engage them in the entrepreneurial activities.
Yeah, very nicely said once again, and lovely answer to that. Now we have very interesting question, and that person wants to ask that, sir, please enlighten us that should we seek the entrepreneurial guidance or expert knowledge guidance, particularly in SMEs? Yes, because certain people are doing it and certain people are teaching it. So, what is your reply to that, student, please?
Yeah, because as I said that social networking plays a very important role in implementing your business plan into the action to maintain your business. So social networking does not mean only to help you, to assist you financially, socially, morally, but academically. It includes academically as well. The seniors, academicians, businessmen who are already engaged in that field of the knowledge, in that field of the knowledge, either it's limited to the theory or it is limited to the practical practitioner. They are practitioners. You can always seek the knowledge, ideas, opinions, and get some kind of the light from them, so that you can be proactive in your future, for your future. And in my capacity, in my case, I'm always willing and always available to guide you academically, whatever is possible. You are most welcome anytime you can reach me.
Yeah, thank you very much for your wonderful offer. And that's why we are connected and we are learning from you. And that's why we have this webinar to enlighten people on this very important topic as well. And just quickly, one question, because that person has given a lot of stress to include this question, that how do you see the role of state in support the development of entrepreneurship and innovation? Yes, please.
State in support.
Yes, state
Yes,
supports towards the entrepreneurship mindset. Yes,
yes.
please.
Uh, Interesting. This is very interesting question, but thing is that question is just open box, just open question that it does not speak about some. It's a question about the Pakistan, or it's generally that what are the role of the government or states in promoting entrepreneurship ecosystem in the country. I will talk about in perspective of the Pakistan that Pakistan has initiated new plans and introduced new programs that are supporting to the business ideas, business that are trying to develop the entrepreneurial ecosystem in the country. Let's suppose Prime Minister has introduced the business loan for the youngsters to start the business. Simultaneously, there are different institutions, different organizations who are also working on this perspective, working on this idea. Besides this, academic institutions, government universities are playing their vital role in the major cities. We can take the example of the Nest as well. We can take example so many reputable universities which are trying to develop the entrepreneurial ecosystem. That is directly and indirectly the government policy programs they are following to implement this mechanism.
Yes, very nicely said once again, Dr. Nawaz. And now we have very wonderful question, and that is a kind of personal. This person wants to ask that, sir, in your own personal opinion, does success come from luck or knowledge and skills? Yes, please.
Success comes from the experience.
Very nice, very nice.
Luck is
In
the
a
fundamental.
nutshell, you have just given the answer. That's good.
When we talk about the luck, it means you are somehow kind of the sentimental. You are differentiating, and you are putting your failures in the account of your luck. Okay, it was not like this. I did not get this. It's okay. But when you succeed, you give credit to your efforts. That I did a lot of things behind this, so I got this opportunity. So I succeeded. But when you go through the different diverse experiences and you improve yourself with a certain time, certain conditions, and definitely when you will improve, you will be able to attain the higher success. You will be able to progress in your plans.
Very nice, very nice once again. And through experiences, one learns a lot, and this is how you get refined with the passage of time. And this is what we say, that if you are surrounded by the quality people and you learn from your own mistakes, that will polish you and that will refine you, and you will grow in a better way. So, very
Yeah.
nicely, once again, wonderful presentation. Thank you so much for your time, energy, and such a lovely content which you have provided for the audience. It is so welcomed. And now, as we ask our guest in the last, that what is your message to the world as a teacher, researcher, trainer, learner, professional, and educator? Yes, please.
I would like to say that every individual is a unique in its own version. Nobody has a substitution. Nobody can be replaced by anyone other person. In any place, in any community, in any process, or in any action, or in any plan. So you are unique version on Earth, on this planet. Don't underestimate yourself, first of all. Try to explore yourself, try to polish your skills, try to develop your skills, and set some kind of the certain goal and employ all your energies, efforts behind that goal to do something different, to achieve something different, and differentiate yourself from rest of population around you, rest of people around you, and that success will give you the social and moral recognition.
Yes, very nice.
That's
Wonderful message
entrepreneurial
once
approach.
again, Dr. Muhammad Nawaz. So nice message, and definitely the people who are watching and the people who will watch in the future, wonderful message for them, and they should learn from it that yes, success comes to those who try for that, who strives for that, and you have to be very much mindful for all the things, because you need to work for them and you need to prepare yourself for that purpose. So once again, thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad Nawaz. Indeed, the role of entrepreneur mindset and entrepreneurship is very much important, and the content shared by the wonderful speaker is so worthy enough. Do follow them properly, and do follow the distinguished guest speaker through his research work, and you can email him for the future guidance and learning as well. He is very generous and he is always ready to help with the people. Moreover, a wonderful explanation and powerful content which the Dr. Nawaz has already elaborated will help you and understand, which will develop your understanding towards this entrepreneurship concepts. So take advantage of all the information, important tips and suggestions shared by the expert. So that's all we have time for today. Thank you once again, Dr. Muhammad Nawaz Tunio. And
Thank
also,
you.
I would like to thank the audience, yeah, who joined us. If you have any additional question, you can email us, or you can connect to the speaker directly through his email address or social media. Thank you all for your support and liking our session. Stay tuned because many sessions are on the way. Please don't miss any session. Until next session, take care of yourself. Bye bye.